Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Simply Real podcast. Today, I'm so happy to have with us David Williams. He is a five-time author. He's also an entrepreneur, and he's also a speaker at the second annual Healing Motivational Summit. Welcome, David. What's going on? I'm so happy to have met you and have you on my podcast today. Oh, did we freeze?
Yeah, thanks for having me. You're good now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. I joke with Jennifer that she proverbially pulls my leg and just won't let go until I say something.
It's true. Well, you when you met me, you're not gonna get rid of me now. I gotta tell you, I'm a persistent person, and when I like somebody, and you were just one of those people that you just have a cool, down to earth heart. You're very compassionate. So yeah, you're stuck with me, David.
I'm stuck with you, goddamn. Nah, it's all love. I did have the pleasure to meet Jennifer on I would call it random, but it actually wasn't random. Because the energy you put out is what you get back. Or at least that's kind of what I tell myself. And Jennifer's energy was just dope. And that's just an inside joke that I tell her about her pulling my leg and just not letting go until I say yes or no. And most times it's yes, because the shit that she talks about is really dope. But yes, I do have 5 books out currently. And I have 2 that I haven't released yet. And then I have 1 that I'm working on now, which is, and it's funny because I'm actually in the process of transitioning. For those that are going to be watching or listening, I'm transitioning from books to perfume. I feel as though I've kind of said for the moment, I'm not quitting, just transitioning to a different venture. And I kind of feel like I've kind of said everything right now that I wanted to say or needed to say. And so my last book for a while is going to be called Undefeated, Fighting Invisible Ailments. For those who don't know, I am, and I know Jennifer was sharing with me that she has Parkinson's, right. And I am diabetic type 2. And then I also, I'm high functioning with it, but I have Asperger's as well.
Right.
And I wanted to kind of finally talk about that because, 1, because I felt led to finally do it. And number 2, I normally don't talk about the disability part because I don't feel like it's a disability. I feel like it's just a different ability. And
good point. I like that you said that. It's not a disability, it's just a different ability. I love that.
Exactly. And I was like, you know what? If I want people to get to know me, I don't want to be labeled. I don't want to be typecasted. I want people to say, you know what? I like David because he's dope, not because of Asperger's. Right. And so a lot of times,
you want to be defined as a person, just you. You don't want what's happening as the Asperger's or diabetes to define you. And I totally resonate with that, actually. Definitely resonate with that. Your identity is who you are. Yeah. It's not your illness. And I think people sometimes forget to understand that. When they know somebody has an illness, sometimes they don't see past that. So that's a good point that you're making.
Yeah. And that's why, that's kind of the reason why I work the way that I do. People joke with me about it and say, yo, you're 7 books in going on 49 and 50. But that's why I work that way, because I want people to get to know the person behind the stuff, right. Not be so focused on the disability part that they don't see anything else. Like, they don't see the fact that you have a business. They don't see the fact that you wrote a book. They don't see this and they don't see that. They just see, well, this person has an ailment or a disability, and so I'm going to treat them different because they have that. And that just never sat well with me, even when I was working, right? When I was working a corporate job, I always made a point to go above and beyond everybody else because I didn't want to be typecasted. I didn't want to be just mushed in with everybody else. And I was like, no, like, you're going to talk to me like everyone else. You're not going to talk to me like something is wrong. Like, you're going to talk to me like you talk to everybody else. So that was kind of my motivation for, outside of family motivation. That's been my drive behind why I work the way that I work, because I don't want to be typecasted.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with that. And I think that you're doing a great job of putting that out into the world with all the books that you have. And like you said, you're also an entrepreneur, and you're doing great things. Tell us about your entrepreneurship journey.
Yeah, books was the start of it. What was the
name of your first book? Just to go back, what was the name?
An Eagle Eye with a Lion's Heart: How Introverts Can Break Through Barriers.
Nice.
Because I was going through a transition of just following wherever my heart took me, and it being open to people who agree, but not allowing people to disagree to deter me from what I felt led to do.
Right.
And I was working in retail at that time, and I had a friend who. Yeah, AC. I have mine on.
And yeah, I just took it off because if you heard it in the background, I'm like, it's gonna start making noise. I forgot to take it off before we started.
So I had a friend who pushed me in this direction of writing books. Initially, I was going to just write the one and then go back to what I was doing. But I often joke with people that people kind of went into petition that I can't go back to what I was, because they like, not from a place of telling people what to do, but in a place of like walking with somebody on the journey, not from a place of like, I'm at the top, so you have to like do what I say. Like, that's not where I came from. You know what I mean? So that was like, the books was my introduction to entrepreneurship, and it's been awesome. There's been not so fun moments of it, of course, but I mean, the people that I've met like along the way, I wouldn't have met if I was working like a traditional 9-to-5 job. I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met GT and the other people that we're now mutually connected with. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, it was I thought it was a curse initially, because I was like, well, how am I going to pay for my passions plus my job? Like, how am I going to do that? But the universe has made a way every time. I don't know where, I don't know how. Sometimes I don't know why, I don't know when, I don't know what, but it makes a way.
Well, when you have that passion, like you have, and you and I have talked about this so much, David, being entrepreneurs and being in that field and just trying to balance it all out. And not everybody understands that mindset that is really needed to be an entrepreneur. And like you just said, having that, it is passion, it's pure passion. And when you combine that with strategy and you combine that with something that makes sense, you can put so much energy out into the world, and it's going to come back to you eventually. But yes, a lot of people may not recognize that, immediately. You may not see it happening immediately. And that is the problem. So I understand that frustration, because I feel like I'm in that space right now myself. But so I have to tell you, talking to you when I first met you on Clubhouse, and talking to you about the same experience actually made me feel a lot better about it. Because I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one that has this. I'm not the only one that feels like this. And that's one of the great things I gotta say, to just transition over to like Clubhouse and how it works. I gotta say, because a lot of people just don't understand the value of this platform, including people who just are not on it, your family members, things like that. And I just think it's just an amazing platform that has truly brought together so many people in different ways. And it has given me the opportunity to meet amazing people like you. And now you're part of the summit, which is awesome. I mean, I'm just so honored to have you be a part of this summit in so many ways.
Yeah. It's funny. One of the things that I had, because I do believe in like speaking things into like existence, right? That's one of the things that we talk about consistently. And that was one of the things that I had spoken into existence at one point, was that I wanted to be on a panel. I wanted to have like a natural and genuine discussion with people from different walks of life.
Right.
It's one thing to do it like on a podcast, like by yourself, but when you and bump into people that that do dance, that do music, that write books, that start a business, that do fashion, that just different categories, and then there's still a way to like come together. I think that that's like the beautiful thing, like you said, about Clubhouse.
Right.
Like that, I feel, I don't know about you, but I feel global. Like when I meet people from Paris and England and like all of these places,
amazing.
I feel international, man, even though I haven't been there yet, but I feel global. And so I appreciate you just for reaching out, man. Like just for saying, hey, he's stubborn and he's crazy, but he's dope too. So I'm gonna invite him onto my show. So
of course. No, 100%. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And you know, as you're talking, I just gotta say before we end that I think I have a new idea brewing in my head. You know me, late night vibes and ideas. So
I face palm a lot with her, you guys. It's out of love, it really is, but I face palm a lot because she's like, yo, I got this idea.
And you know me, I always got ideas brewing, David. This is what it is. But my idea is, I'm going to announce it right now on this podcast and on this webinar, is that me, you, GT, everybody who's in that late night vibes room, we got to do that real time for the summit. Because I think that us talking here, as you know, talking about the impact of the platform and us getting together, we got to do a roundtable discussion, and we just got to vibe out on that summit and just show people this is the true value of getting together and how it can really help all of us to heal in so many different ways. So I have a couple ideas.
Of course you do. but I'm here for it. I'm down for it.
Yeah, sounds good. But
I think that would be dope.
Yeah, I do think so too. So, but I do appreciate you coming on the Simply Real podcast, you know, and anything you want anybody to know how they can, you know, find you, you know, please plug yourself because you are a speaker at the second annual Global Summit, which is happening on September 17th, 18th, and 19th. It will all be live streamed. So where can they find David? Where can they check you out and get your books, all that stuff?
Yeah, so my books are on Amazon. My first 5, I have 3 that are in the back that I haven't released yet, but I have 5 out. And the titles of them, for those that are going to be listening, is An Eagle Eye with a Lion's Heart, How Introverts Can Break Through Barriers. That was my first. My second was Lions and Wolves, the differences between entrepreneurs and network marketers. My third is Entrepreneurial Spartans, a Grandson's Tribute.
Thanks.
My fourth was Heavy as the Head, for those who wear crowns, the Entrepreneurial Kingdom. And my fifth, my most recent, was Hybrid, Being Superhuman Among People. Those are all on Amazon, and actually 2 out of 5 are also available now in Walmart. And I'm looking for other platforms that I can find to increase my reach. But right now, those are the major 2 that I'm really pushing, like Amazon and Walmart. And then if anybody wants to connect with me, I'm always on Instagram at some point. Jennifer yells at me about that. But my Instagram is Kyle's Enterprises. And I did that because I do different stuff, from books to podcasting to now Perfume. And I didn't want to be limited to just the book stuff.
Right.
So I just called it Kyle's Enterprises to help to make it easier.
Yeah, you got a lot going on, which is you're multifaceted, and I love that. So you have so much stuff that you do, and that's what makes you unique. That's what makes you you, and that is why I reached out, because you like-minded individuals have to stick together, because we're gonna elevate together.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna yell at Jennifer because Jennifer is in New York and I'm in New York, and nothing has happened yet. So I'm yelling.
What's up with that, David? What's up with that? We gotta make it happen. We gotta make it happen. We're gonna make it happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm also on Twitter as well. Although I'm not on Twitter as much because I've been getting a lot of love from my ID. So that's kind of been my main focus now. But I'm also on Twitter at the same name as my Instagram, except it's KAYLES ENTERPRIS, because they cut off your username at a certain point.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so but it's the same name on both.
Cool.
And then if anybody wants to connect with me on Clubhouse, my name on there is Ambitious Gentleman on Clubhouse. David Williams is too common, so I just tell people like my username, which is Ambitious Gentleman.
Nice. Well, everybody go check him out. He's always on Instagram Live. He's doing some live. Almost every day I see David doing a live. So you can't miss it. You cannot miss this guy. He's all over the place.
I try, man.
I know. Well, I appreciate you being a part of the summit. I appreciate you as a friend, and definitely somebody that, I'm so happy that I met, and we formed a great relationship. So I know we're only going to keep doing great things together, David. So thank you again. And, much love and respect to you. Definitely.
Yes, same. And yes, I know I'm glued with her at the hip, so there's no chance in me trying to cut the glue or trying to do nothing. So but I appreciate it. I appreciate you just being open.
Yeah, definitely. And we look forward to seeing more of your books coming out, and everybody will check them out at the summit. So thanks again, David. We will talk soon.
Yes, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.